be calling you a radical. So I want to get into something that I came up with right after Fukushima happened, which is FUKTONIUM. You know, I want to talk about what is FUKTONIUM. Now, it made the Urban Dictionary. I like it, but that's not what FUKTONIUM is. So I get into the spooky sciences, Einstein called it, quantum mechanics, theoretical physicists. The whole quantum mechanics to me is giant crackpot bullshit. 100% bullshit. You know, entanglement, the whole fucking theoretical process that keep going. To me, it is the same as taking the atom, we're going to spin it, we're going to direct it, we're going to dump billions and trillions of dollars for 80 years in now. Nuclear fission, salt reactors, you know, fast breeders reactors, fucking this, that, other thing. We're at Livermore, you know, Livermorium, Californium, Tennesseeum. Fucking, we're going to create this, we're going to get this energy, this free fucking, ain't going to happen, never going to happen, never will happen. That's why it's called theoretical. That's why it's called theoretical. I'm a, you know, theoretical physicist. It's like this. It's like this with Einstein. Now you go back to the early Einstein and his papers and his work, so good, so good. Then, of course, the entanglement fucking argument, which is all theoretical to this fucking day. It's like this. This whole entanglement argument. The action, the localization of the event. That's the action, is the event, not the recording of the event. So you take it, you direct it, you record it, and somehow it spontaneously happens here at the same time there, even if it's billions of light years away. It's the recording of it. It's the event. It's the action. It's the localization. Is the event, not the recording of the event. The human mind cannot wrap it around. So why are we spending all this money and billions and trillions and gazillions to fucking keep going into this fairy tale land? Look, we don't split atoms. We collide atoms. We spin them, send it on the state line, turn holy water into fucking wine. We take uranium-238 natural from the earth, right? It's so abundant, it's everywhere. That's not what's used in a nuclear energy reactor. Uranium-235. But it's the process we get that there. The 238. We centrifuge it, right? You know? Spin it, Paducah, Kentucky, you know? We've refired it up and Ohio. I went back to my city. My city was fucking gone. You know? Russia, we're going after the oligarchs. Unless they donate money to Harvard. Oh, fuck. So, we hex gas it. We spin it. Then it collides. Then it releases the new energy that comes off the collided atom. Well, the atom has been collided for decades. Many, many decades. We know what comes out of it. Now, measuring that, I mean, every other day they come up, oh, fuck, Livermore, we collided again. We created a fucking heat source for a billionth of a millionth of a fucking second. It's going to change the world. Fucking Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Fucking the Ricken Lab. And fuck. It's bullshit. It's total bullshit. Quantum mechanics, I don't even think it should be caught. It's fucking crackpot bullshit. No one can understand it. No one can. So you go to Einstein. You know, his whole, everything was based on logic, right? Logic, reason. Like, we get into philosophies, we get into native cultures, Hindu cultures, Buddhism culture. It all comes back, it comes full circle to the inception of logic. Einstein's logic is beautiful. It was beautiful. His works in 1905, oh, beautiful. But it's Einstein later in life. Einstein later in life becomes the philosopher. If I did it all over again, I'd be a plumber. Did it all over again, I'd be a carpenter. It was the philosophies of Einstein who really grasped it. Remember he called war a disease? And anybody that got involved in war a disease, hell of a way to, Kevin Blanch, hell of a way to boil a planet. Einstein, hell of a way to boil water. What was Einstein's conclusion later in his life? Giving up. The human mind cannot comprehend. So, remember, it was always the grid. Space and time, the grid. You know, I always go back to fractal physics. I think it's so simplistic and so fucking beautiful. My favorite when I was young, MELTDOWNS. Fuck, I gotta find one of those shirts, man. We used to all wear those shirts, fucking Fast Times at fucking Weber High. I went to Mission Bay. I went to Weber fucking High. I mean, when that was there. Understanding that you know nothing, right? Right? You know, what do I need? A job? What do I want a fucking job? I mean, I'm good. You know, waves and buzz. The simplicity of the fractal. That was in the 70s, remember? All MELTDOWNS did was fucking bend the rabbit ears on your fucking television. All he did was bend it. Take apart your cell phone. That's all it is. That's all it is. All it is, he bend it. So it grabs it. You know, it's like I make this YouTube video here with this camera, this incredible, incredible technology in this computerized device that you hold in your hand now. Fuck it. Remember, I used to use that little flip can. Oh, fuck. Things were so good. But uploading was a different thing. You had to have a hard drive. You know, that first Fukushima video that I ever put up took me 6 hours to upload it. Had to go to the university, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, my Wi-Fi sucks out here. So, you make the video. The video stores it. This incredible, incredible thing. This visual genre sucks it up. I put so much time and work and space into the visual genre of mine, with my art form, because I know the visual genre is thousands and thousands and thousands of times more powerful than the written word. I've known that. I taught communications. I mean, I remember being young. This gifted student was 6. Fuck, I was so haywire. I mean, I looked just like Spagnoli. I mean, not in the face, but the hair and the body. And so I went to school, my shirt off, and drinking beer, and fucking girl. I mean, but I had these scores off the hook, and people got a hold of me, and I understood Einstein's philosophies at a very young age. I got it. I think living on the marsh and the landscape on the wetland and being out there and being outside all the time. I mean, I pretty well lived my whole life outside. I still do. And I remember being able to see the future, to at least think I saw the future. But as time's gone on, I kind of think I did, you know. I don't know if my dad was human lab rat in the Nevada test site, and then I was made after. I've always felt that, I mean, I don't know. I remember my teacher when I was real little, 2nd grade, you know, people were saying they thought I was this, that, the other thing, you know, and she's like, no, he's not that. You know, he's just got mind. I don't know how you explain it. So she got me going, turned on. That's where I really started to understand Einstein's philosophies, and I got into the biology. The opposite of quantum mechanics is the study of biology, is biology. It's your pseudo de facto sociology. It's your pseudo de facto theology. No, it's your fucking biology. I'm the opposite of a quantum, you know, the theoretical physicist. I'm the exact opposite of them. I study the reality. I am the biologist, so FUKTONIUM. When we collide the atom, we spin the atom, we create this energy, which is really not, I mean, to think it's magic, to think it's, you remember Kennedy when he touched it up at Hanford? It's not. It's actually a thing from the earth that we gas it, we spin it, we collide it. It's actually fucking real molecules, real atoms, real, uranium-235. That's what it is. Put into pellets by people, Karen Silkwood, right here behind my house, Western Zirconium. Put in zirconium rods, bundled together, fucking put in, creates the exchange, which fucking creates the heat source, which the water flows over, which fucking heats the water, which creates the steam, which turns the turbine. It's really pretty primitive. You think about it. I look at nuclear energy as being not much more advanced than burning coal. Seriously, I mean, the fact that you collide an atom in this source, but you use water, the ocean's water, whatever, you boil all the ocean's water, it leaves a byproduct just like coal, just like anything. The only really clean energy is solar and or wind. I mean, there's lots of wind technology nowadays, and you have blades. It's in the cylinders. I mean, it's just racing forward because nuclear is blocked what we call opportunity costs. The opportunity costs that have been just obliterated by I don't think you could put a number on that. Trillions. I mean, we're talking uranium fucking one. Google has been blocked by the nuclear scumbags. So, theoretical physicists, the entanglement, the spooky, as he called it, is just that. It's bullshit. It's theoretical. It's always been debunked. It's always debunked. None of it's ever been reality and been used for anything. Never been used for nothing. Nothing. Now you go back to Einstein's theories of relativity. Oh, fuck, it's been used. Space and time. Each stayed on its side, as I call it. So, FUKTONIUM. What is FUKTONIUM? Time. And I haven't read out of this book for fucking years because I just came out of... I don't think people realize I've been in YouTube jail since 2018. I've been on double, quadruple probation. I just came off, fighting for my life, full of leukemia. I think the fact that I got leukemia in the Fukushima year, it's going to be leukemia, the whole space, and just the fact I go into the bone marrow transplant on 11/11, and I think all this that is it is not understood, and the human mind can't not understand it. Einstein's words, right? That's his whole philosophy at the end. I mean, the whole numerology, I'm so into it. I think it's so, I think I just broke through 11/11/11, my place, my space, in time. But the reality, entanglement is bullshit. I remember being young and being with this professor, this great biologist, zoologist, and, I'm 16, 17 years old. I'm at a university, I graduated, I think, 698 in a class of 699 at Fast Times at Weber High. Fuck, I was so fucking bored with them fucking, there were certain aspects that I liked and could understand, but I knew it was all bullshit. I was being taught, I knew I was being taught horseshit from the time I was fucking, in the 5th, 6th grade. I grew up here in the Mormon community, and I grew up, going to primary and Sunday school and, school and the history that I was on. I'm like, fuck, I play in the wigwams right here. My mom works at the Intermountain Indian School. This is fucking horse shit. I knew it was. And then, so the theoretical physicist debate was going on, the whole thing. And by the way, Oppenheimer, some beautiful scientist, Einstein was a fucking mass murdering dirtbag from hell. Everybody backed out. It's a sickness. It's generational arrogance is what it is. A certain race, a certain religion, a certain group, a certain people, a certain thing, just by birth through you're better than others is fucking bullshit. That's where the root of racism, that's the root of fucking warism, that's the root of it all. As Einstein said himself, war is a disease. It's a generational arrogance fucking sickness of not understanding, not open-minded, and then not being able to admit to yourself that you don't because it's so arrogant. That's what quantum physicists are. plasma physicists, all of the whole physicists, you know, the whole entanglement, the whole spookiness. It's bullshit. We need to get back to reality and logic, what we do know. So we split the atom, we create this fucking thing, which was so dangerous. We knew if it ever blew it up, then it was going to release something we've never known. Because the human biology, we're back to biology. The biology of a plant, a person, a animal, all living creatures right down to the last teeny dust in the wind molecule, is a gradual fucking process that's gone on for how long? Who knows? But we know fucking, you know, many millions of years living things have been on this earth. That process, if it's interrupted like that, well, that's Spanish flu, right? I mean, they're using biological weapon testings and fucking, I mean, you don't think that's so radical on the fucking biology? I mean, the Intermountain Indian School in Brigham City, Utah, used to be the Bushnell Hospital. I grew up, you know, my family, whatever, and that was the people that came back. You know how many people were so fucked up from the nerve gases stored here in Dugway? So we radically changed that. That's what FUKTONIUM is. That's what. So we had this partial meltdown. Well, it was a full core graphite reactor that blew up at Chernobyl, right? Well, let's even go back. Let's go back to the Chalk River, who you talk to search me. You know, that reactor, you know, ties into Carter Smart. You know, Carter went down. He was one of the guys that had to go in there, and they put the suits in, 15-second intervals, and pulled that out. That was at 3 Mile Island, but before at Chalk River. At Chalk River. Yes. So, 3 Mile Island, 79. They just lied, like Barrett, you know, it just lies. Chernobyl, a graphite reactor. By the way, the battle for Chernobyl, I go back to the battle for Chernobyl. The HBO documentary, I love it. You know, when they first showed it to me and asked me to screen it, they said, we'll give you a hat and a juice. Okay, I'm good. Whatever. All I need is, you know, a little buzz and, you know, a groovy fucking wave. I'm good. I'm good. I really am. So, the reactor, before then, Idaho National Lab, when they're experimenting, you know, which we're going to new scale from here now, it fucking blows up. Killing people off the roofs. Radical crazy. We have a huge outbreak in ARCO. I'm in the bone marrow transplant fighting for my life. I'm in there. I was in there with my best friend Paul, fucking Johnny, both from ARCO, Idaho. Both died in there. And, of course, Santa Susana in the valley. We cover that. That's such a nasty fucking disaster. So much cancer there. You know, but covered up. Chernobyl, the graphite reactor, 780,000 men entombed. Okay, all those events, said events, are changing biology. Because it's now, it's not gradual, it's radical. It's free radicals versus post-ignorance. So, never have we had really a full blown out core nuclear meltdown, which we've all always feared. And Fukushima has proved that China syndrome is real, which I named them not one, not two, but 3 full core nuclear meltdowns. Which I knew that immediately. When I saw that was a 9 point, I come home, I was in the Energy Solutions dump site protesting Mike Lee bringing the Italian waste in. That's where I was at. I got home, there was a barge there, right? Activists had put there in the ocean. We had visual proof. I knew from my work that I had done the due diligence at the water school business. So I was the guy there at the #1 school business in the United States, a public entity that's beating the private. That's me. We were it. I was the guy. I was the I did the due diligence on nuclear reactors. I had my list of the most dangerous. Fukushima Daiichi, Fukugiani, San Onofre, freaking Diablo, TikTok, lessons from Fukushima unlearned on the, Ring of Fire. I mean, I would write fuck on the board. We talk about literal speech versus figurative speech, the truth versus It's a 9-point earthquake. 9 on the Richter. I knew that they couldn't handle anything even close to an 8. It was a fucking 9. Now, we don't have to explain the magnitude on the Richter. The magnitude, each point, 8.1, 8 is 10 times more. 8.2 is 10 times more than 8.1, which 8.3 is 10 times more than an 8.2. So you can get it. It was a 9. Visual proof showing it below the fucking smithereens. I knew right then, this is it. This is the biggest event in human history. I knew right then. Everything's changed. It finally happened. This is it. This is the mother of all ecological catastrophes in the history of the fucking world. This is it. This is going to change every piece of DNA, every piece of biology. You know, I can't even talk where I think the demi comes from, but you know my theories, you know. But I have proved and documented. So FUKTONIUM, because this never happened before. Never happened at Mayak, never happened at fucking Santa Susana, never happened at fucking Chalk River, never happened even at 3 Mile Island, never happened at fucking Chernobyl. Oh, it fucking happened. And their answer was, they sent in the 32 ships. I was, did all that work at the USS Reagan. Their answer was to dump water onto it, push it into the ocean. Plume come over for 6 days. Obama lies, says the plume safe. Cheryl's emails come out, whether Hillary's or Homan's or whatever. Take a shower. Plume's coming, the whole cover up. The CIA just is exposed who runs this country. The same people that have the power fucking are all in nuclear energy. That, the Price Anderson, it's about the money. Well, but anyway, so FUKTONIUM, which I came up right off the get. I'm like, this is new. This is something that's never happened before. This is a new energy. How are we going to measure what? When you have a Geiger counter, you have all these devices that are measured, and by the way, we do have all kinds of data out on what energy was coming off. 18,000 becquerels of cesium-137 in the rockfish just in May. Thousands of times of cesium-137, strontium-90, all the said culprits that come that we know from the Bikini Atolls, all these exchanges. But what I hypothesize, what this that comes off this time, because these are full blown out core meltdowns, we have no clue because it's never happened before. We have no way to measure it. We have no way to, which I named FUKTONIUM. I hypothesized that it was going to push into the fucking ocean. It was going to wipe out the fucking tide pools first. It was going to fucking create a chain reaction. It's going to collapse the Pacific Ocean, which I named the Great Pacific. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the Western United States. I'm the first guy that says it's going to get into the trees because pine trees hold fucking radiation in the needle. That's how they are. It's going to get into the needles and we're going to cause fucking mega fires. I hypothesized all this. Blanch on Balco. You can argue with it, but the fact is I was right on all of it. I walked the coast of California. I've done all that incredible tide for where everybody laughed at me. They don't laugh at me now. And then I said, the smoking gun will be salmon, because Chinook salmon go to sea for 5 years. They won't collapse until 2016, which they collapse in an acute way. And we call that outlier science. So we know factually, on our argument, Blanch was right. Blanch was right. The father of FUKTONIUM was right. There was an event in 2011. You can argue me what caused the event, but we know the greatest outlier since the Spanish flu happened in 2011. That's unarguable. That's not theoretical, spooky science entanglement. It's not all of that horseshit. It's reality of the biology. It's the opposite of that. As Einstein said, hell of a way to boil fucking Kevin Blanch, hell of a way to boil. So FUKTONIUM's the energy. You mix it in with all these other toxins, the Roundup poisoning, the fucking cheap fuel coming from all the fucking cheap made goods in fucking China, that bunker fuel in all those fucking ships dumping into the fucking ocean. Storms rise up over the ocean, and it's just radically changing. We know it's unarguable. You can plug in any regression because we have 12 years of data, almost 13 now, that there's probably the greatest outlier, in human history. Except maybe we could go back to, what was that year? 365 AD, when the big volcano erupted on the equator. Holy Krakatoa. Since then, or maybe the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu, that was fucking wicked. Radical. And where I believe that came from. Well, a lot of people do. The biological weapons testing, and we can't talk. So I named this FUKTONIUM. Einstein, Meltdown, Blanch, the father of FUKTONIUM. So my thoughts on entanglement and the spooky, this is just theory. I've always felt that the test, because you take billions of years, through stars, that it's not the recording, because you record here, it's the actual event, which is space and time that we cannot wrap our minds around. Our human minds are not even fucking capable to understand the universe in space and time. I mean, that comes down into religion, comes into all these biases that is unexplainable. So I don't even go there. I think it's crackpot bullshit. I think all quantum mechanics is total horseshit. It's been they sit around just debunk the whole thing. We're going to get nuclear fission, fusion. I remember when what's his name at the University of Utah claimed he had it. I see him and went over fucking playing blackjack. He was they just lie. It's all about the money. Livermore, fucking bringing star power to Earth. Oh, they brought power to Earth. Star can give you fucking, that big star heats us. You can get 94 million miles away. Huh. It gives you cancer. Fuck, we're the cancer capital of the world, this high altitude sun here in Utah. We got 3 fucking stars in the Pacific Ocean that pushed into Del Mar, Argentina syndrome. The core meltdowns. It's a man-made star. They think. We don't even. They think. But what comes off them, we don't know what it is. We don't understand, which I call plutonium. So all we can do is study the byproduct, and then we can quantify the byproduct, which I've done. It's the greatest PhD opportunity in human history, Kevin Blanch. The effects of the Fukushima meltdowns and cover-up on the ecology, on the Pacific Ocean. That's what I've done. You walk, including down to my own cancer. Give it 2 months to live, go and go out, walk my tide pool work alone. So I've proven that this is an acute radical outliner. That I have absolute undocumented, it's unarguable proof there's an outliner, and we know absolutely that we have all learned that it's 2011. That happened in the Pacific Ocean over the western ecology, including the drought. So we have to find the culprit. I mean, that's the only way we can study this. And that's what I've done. So that's what FUKTONIUM is. By the way, I really like the Urban Dictionary definition. It is beautiful. So I'm a huge fan of Einstein. Giant fan of Einstein, especially later in his life. His philosophies, his peace, his Quaker, his minimalist, his... Again, I'll go back to Spagnoli. I grew up that way. You want to see how Kevin Blanch lived when I was young? That's how I lived. Exactly. Walked around. I remember getting kicked out of Disneyland for not having a shirt on. I don't even know why I was there, but that's another story. But, hitchhike back and forth, just free. Job. Why do I need a job? I am good. I really am good. In fact, I think about back when I made a lot of money because I was a derivative arb guy. I've done a lot of things, Wall Street. Made lots of money, fucking did, then made not so much money, cancer, kicked off poor poverty. I'm really good. As long as I have a roof over my head and, a shitty piece of car, I can get to the university and do my work and get on a cheap plane flight and go to San Diego. See, I have a pacemaker now. I've had surgery twice, but as older I get, I got my Einstein hair going. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it as an experiment. It's really a tribute to Albert. I love that guy. I hate Oppenheimer. I hate all the rest of them. Well, don't hate, but they made me fucking. They human lab ratted my dad in the Nevada test site. How do you think I got cancer? And I'm supposed to just be okay with all that? My dad died in the prime of his life. So, let's read from my book. I haven't read from my book. Where's your fucking glasses? God. How are you going to read from your book? without your glasses. I guess I'm not. We'll try. I see post-ignorance as a pure art movement in the concept of art itself, in the concept of art as culture, in the concept that people are culture, in the concept that inspiration and influence are great historical artists like Van Gogh on Malay, like Pollock's reference to Kandinsky, like Monet's to the sunlight, morning, dawn, winter, fall, summer, spring. It is influenced by the invokeness of the time. My look at culture and their of their culture, their economic theory, popular culture, art, or their more reality is lack thereof, the mind of being able to see when others, for some uncognitive reason, do not see. Everyone saw light and for millenniums. Everyone saw a simple line for millenniums. Everyone saw eclectic color for millenniums. It is more than, say, the artist Monet on the light. Malay saw the struggle. Van Gogh saw the line. Smithson saw the simplicity of the line against the landscape. Kandinsky saw the election of color with shape. Pollock saw the color of dynamics in motion. But much more than that, they saw it decades ahead of the truth. They had minds, saw fact, and with truth, their minds were strong enough to act upon what they understood when all others did not understand. Not yet. They had strong backs and knew how to work. They were the purification of ambition, intelligence, education, smoothed with work ethic. I visualize and have for decades, known via my Hawking trial, as the plaster for all those years. Poetic injustice to the entire world, wars without provocation, pain without a crime, love without an artistic spirit, ignorance with a club, a big club. And I go on. I'll read this again another time when I put my glasses. As a movement in pure intellectualism, as a broad intellectualism, I know historically not. I know what to draw like a camera and blah, 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 blah. But it's the plaster. I understood Einstein's philosophies when I was a kid. I became the plaster. I still, I miss that Hawking trial. Being in the sun, up on the scaffold, and I had the quantum physics mind that I rejected. But I had the biology. I could have went all these places. I was recruited by Berkeley. I was recruited by Caltech. I was recruited by very young. I went, I had a good grandfather who said, he says, no, you're not going to be one of those. He called himself the great Mormon socialist. He was a gem. Really a fantastic person. So was his wife Ella. They were just great grandparents, and he got it. And I understood Einstein. I read about Einstein, and I learned the craft with the Hawking trial because I was so influenced by Michelangelo when I was young. The craft, the Hawking. Watch those videos of me go with the Hawking trial. I'll blow your mind. Jumping back and forth from ladders and things I did. And, I look back on it. All influenced by Albert Einstein. So that's FUKTONIUM. FUKTONIUM never existed on the face of the planet until March 11th, 2011. And they covered it up. It's new. Because we made the pyramid. Remember they left the 4 spaces on the bottom vacant? And then Livermore's got them now. Filling them up with their different bullshit. Mine snaps right in the middle. Remember? I used to wear that shirt. FU. They covered it all. FUKTONIUM. It's so radical. It's so hardcore. It happened so fast, so spontaneously. And I was right. My theory was it's going to genocide the Pacific Ocean. And I was right. 12 years of data, compiling the data. We have all the data now. Kevin Blanch, the father of FUKTONIUM. So I don't do quantum physics. I don't believe in it. Einstein tried to prove it, the grid of space and time. Then they changed it. It was the fabric. Metalbron. They're, you know, the rabbit ears, that's how the cell phone works. Like I said, the video goes to a tower. The tower fucking sends it to the Google server. The server goes through the process and builds it and then puts it, and you watch it. It's really the opposite of theoretical spooky entanglement, isn't it? It's the speed of light. Fukushima FUKTONIUM is real. We know that there was for every action, there's a reaction, Einstein. Those 3 cores melted down. They pushed the energy into the Pacific Ocean. Off the top, we have tracer elements all over. We picked them up all over. Major ones, cesium-137, strontium-90, you know, all the said culprits. But the whole synergistic effect, which I felt would go into the ocean with everything else and all the other pollutions and toxins, which I named FUKTONIUM, was going to be acute, it was going to be radical, and it was going to be fucking crazy. And it has been. It's been a radical fucking crazy fuck. Now, did it change space and time? I don't know about that. You know, if it, I call it East 8 on its side, I go into bone marrow transplant East 8 on 11-11-11. Numbers matter. But we know that it radically changed the composition of the biology of every living thing in that ocean, and the storms rise up and the heat bubble of the Western United States, and you know where I think that didn't come from, but I won't get into that. That's FUKTONIUM. So I hypothesized it. First you hypothesize knowledge, then you do the field work, then you defend your fucking work. So I mean, as Kevin Blanch on March 2011, all new knowledge, all new great knowledge will be persecuted. You know, Semmelweis. I think about Semmelweis and germ theory. That was not spooky entanglement, was it? That was not. That was real. But they wouldn't believe him. He had his doctors washing their hands, and they weren't dying. And he went so mad because no one would believe him that they threw him in a rubber room and beat him to death in Vienna. You know, the clinic's named after that in Vienna. I've been to it. Stood on the steps. So, the new Semmelweis. Didn't they call him Savior of Mothers? I'm trying to be Savior of Mother Earth, but, you know, I'm just one person. One little molecule. One particulate. Einstein's philosophy is later in life. That's where I go. He says, give it up. Give it up. The human mind's or is a disease, you know. Kevin Blanch, father of FUKTONIUM. Stay in tune.